March Madness is underway, and while our very own Paladins made the tournament, students felt left out due to costly tickets like these and their limited availability.
Zeta's Big Man on Campus begins any minute now. We're taking you behind the scenes to watch the big event.
This basketball season has been a special one, but especially for this family. More on this in sports.
At this time of war, are you wondering where your money's going? Or what's happening to the civilians and the soldiers overseas? I've got the answers coming up next.
Good afternoon. I'm Jada Hunt, and you're watching the Nightly News. We begin today by discussing the power outage here at Furman. Students and faculty were shocked this past Monday when right in the middle of classes, Furman's campus went dark. Power was lost for about a minute and a half before being restored. In an email to the community, Furman said that the outage originated in the Duke power grid. The school is working with Duke Power officials to determine if any other outages will occur. If you are experiencing any more power-related issues, please contact Furman facilities immediately. We have been at war with Iran for almost a month now, and the cost is estimated at $1 billion a day. Alex Black takes a look at the war and its costs.
As we all well know, the U.S. is gearing up for a prolonged war with Iran, and the cost of that war is rising quickly.
War is expensive, but how will that affect taxpayers? After all, the American Revolution began when King George III implemented taxes on things like sugar, stamps, and tea after the French Indian War. So knowing what our government is doing with our tax dollars is incredibly important. By day 6 of the war, the U.S. had spent $11.3 billion, and by day 12 of this war, there will be up to $16.5 billion, according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies. And they attribute the vast majority of these $12 billion to munitions. This graph shows specifically where that money is going. The U.S. has a $900 billion defense budget annually, and they spent about 1.3% of that budget in 6 days. However, now a month into the war, the Pentagon is requesting an additional $200 billion. Obviously, the cost of war is not only monetary, but there's a death toll as well. Right now, we only have estimates, but according to the U.S.-based rights group HRANA, 3,230 Iranians have been killed, with 1,406 being civilians and 210 being children. For reference, 1,406 civilians being killed would be about half the casualties of 9/11. As well, 13 American service members have been killed thus far, while almost 300 U.S. troops have been wounded. In Israel, at least 18 people have been killed, along with an estimated 4,800 injured, according to Al Jazeera.
With war raging on, we can only hope that no more people suffer.
Rising gas prices across the country are hitting people where it hurts, their pockets. Harrison Barrett with more on the story.
Gas prices have been rising in recent weeks, and much of it is tied to the ongoing conflict involving Iran. The war has driven up the price of crude oil after traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has been almost totally blocked off. When oil prices rise, drivers feel it almost immediately at the pump.
I just finished filling up my car with gas. Look at this price. It's completely outrageous. This is ridiculous.
Gas prices continue to rise. With the nearest gas station, 7-Eleven by Furman, the now price of regular gas is $3.79.
For all that commute by car, the higher costs are forcing adjustments to daily routines. With no clear end to the ongoing war with Iran, people are left clueless as to when these prices will drop back to normal. Until then, drivers across Greenville and the United States are keeping a close eye on the numbers every time they fill up their tank.
Keep in mind those gas prices when traveling, Dens. We turn now from travel to tragedy as New York City reels from a horrific accident at LaGuardia Airport. Late Sunday evening, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 collided with an airport fire truck during landing. The accident, which killed both pilots, ejected a flight attendant hundreds of feet from the airport and severely injured dozens of passengers, but it was possibly caused in part by an air traffic controller error. The lone controller on duty at the time of the accident was performing operations usually covered by at least 3 air traffic controllers. Already considered to be one of the most difficult and stressful jobs out there, air traffic controllers have been struggling with chronic staffing shortages, an issue experts warned would lead to an increase of preventable accidents. The ongoing partial government shutdown of Homeland Security has snarled airport security lines. Passengers are facing up to 7-hour waits for standard security at major U.S. airports. In what it claims to be an effort to alleviate wait times, the Trump administration has sent ICE agents to major airports. Although they have yet to make it clear how these agents will operate, video shows them standing around. Senators have yet to reach a deal to fund the TSA, and until they do, airport wait times are projected to only get longer. If you are flying in the near future, make sure to keep an eye out for communications from your airline about how to handle long wait times. Some airports are recommending that passengers arrive up to 5 hours before their flight's scheduled departure. So, plan accordingly. Markwayne Mullin has been confirmed as the new head of the Department of Homeland Security. In a vote of 54 to 45, Mullin became the 9th Secretary of DHS. He was sworn in by the president in the Oval Office on Tuesday after Monday's vote. Though he was supported by most Senate Republicans in the confirmation hearings, others worried about his lack of experience and ability to succeed in this position.
To be honest, I'm a little nervous about Mullin being sworn in because things have not been going very smoothly recently, and I'm nervous that he won't improve things at all and that it will stay a rocky road.
Mullin replaces Kristi Noem after she was moved to another position called the Special Envoy to the Shields of the Americas, a position created by the president. In the midst of chaos at DHS, communities across the nation are gearing up for the 3rd No Kings Rally. Greenville's No Kings Rally will take place this Saturday. Protesters are asked to meet at One City Plaza at 11:45 a.m., where they will march to Falls Park for the rally. Furman University's Young Democratic Socialists of America organization organized their teach-in on Sanctuary Campus last week. YDSA students held this event on campus along with another ICE Out protest.
I think everybody should look into what a sanctuary campus is. Like, it's basically just us asking our administration to pledge to protect their students as much as they can. You know, they can't protect 100% of their students in every possible scenario, but they can say that they're gonna do what they can as much as they can, and that's all we want.
YDSA maintains an active social media presence with regular updates. More information will be shared as it comes available. In consumer news, coffee lovers, you have something new to look forward to. A new Dutch Bros coffee location will be opening at 3103 North Pleasantburg Drive. That is right beside the new Culver's. This popular drive-through coffee chain started out west and is expanding across the country.
I'm really excited about the new Dutch Bros coming to Greenville. I have a couple of friends out west, and it's always the first thing I go and do when I go to visit them.
The company has not yet released the exact opening date, but more details are expected in the coming weeks. It seems everywhere we turn, whether it will be social media or the classroom, AI usage has skyrocketed. I investigated how this affects Furman students, as well as the issue with the potential data center emerging in the upstate.
I will say last semester, AI was a bit useful in like testing code and whatever. That's something that AI is really great at doing, and just kind of helping you modify your code and understanding like what you did wrong. But the thing with that is, it's kind of too good at that, to the point where a lot of my assignments, I was wondering, why the hell am I learning this if an AI can just do it for me?
According to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, 50% of entry-level jobs could be lost to artificial intelligence. Computer science jobs are at the front line of this. AI has also caused a surge in RAM prices.
Have you seen these RAM prices? Oh goodness. Back in the day, RAM was not, it was so much less expensive than it is now. It's the thing, all these AI centers, they need all this water, they need all this RAM, they need just all these parts to make their AI.
In January 2026, Tiger DC announced the construction of Project Sparrow, a $3 billion AI database that will be placed in Spartanburg County. Due to public backlash about sustainability and ethics, the proposed bill was withdrawn.
So, first of all, water usage. AI uses a ton of water because they use water to cool down the data centers. Additionally, it uses a ton of energy. And not only is that a climate change problem, because although they're using some renewable energy, they're also using a lot of fossil fuels. So it's not only a climate change problem, but that leads to the second problem with AI, which is the social justice aspect.
For students who want to lessen their AI usage, sites such as Ecosia allow users to search for results without artificial intelligence. If you are looking for something fun to do on Tuesday, March 31st, look no further. Furman's Environmental Action Group is hosting its annual Eco Fair. The fair will showcase many local sustainable businesses. Vendors will include handmade jewelry, artwork, local food, local honey and jams, and much more, all made in sustainable ways. Join the Environmental Action Group in the Watkins Room in Trone on Tuesday, March 31st from 4 to 7 in its efforts to encourage sustainability. Speaking of fairs, you may have spotted these colorful posters scattered around campus. They advertise the upcoming Furman Health and Wellness Fair, showcasing Furman's many health and well-being resources. The raffle-fueled festivities will kick off on the library steps next Wednesday, April 1st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Furman students have officially elected their next SGA President, Libby Adams. In this Didn't You Know segment, Ansley Weaver sat down with her over Zoom to discuss her goals, priorities, and what she wants students to know as she steps into this role.
What inspired you to run for student body president?
I'm really looking forward to being able to actually make sustainable change that will last past me.
What are your top goals or top priorities going into next year?
Yeah, I'm super excited. My biggest goal is going to be student involvement. So I actually just met with Dean Cassidy yesterday, and we're going to be trying out some different ways to get the student body a bit more involved with SGA, especially when it comes to the discussion process. Every third meeting for us is a discussion-based meeting, and I would love to have juries of students come in and be a part of the conversation during those. We talk about big issues on campus, themes that we've been seeing, issues we need to address, and kind of we open the can of worms, and then we discuss kind of what we could do to fix them. Another thing I really want to focus on is increasing the transparency between the administration and the students. I feel like a lot of times we hear about things before at a point when there's nothing we can really do about it, and we just kind of have to react. And I'd love for decisions to at least be explained a little bit more to us on the front end, and us to have a little bit more agency for action and disagreement.
When you implement those things, how do you think that will change campus culture towards SGA?
I would love for the narrative around SGA to not be this one thing that happens once a year when we do elections and then people kind of don't interact with it after that. I want it to be a resource to the student body, and I want the student body to be able to use it accurately in order not only to address campus issues, but also bigger advocacy issues.
Libby will officially step into her term this fall. We are eager to see how she will lead our Furman community forward. We have a new big man on campus today. Zeta Tau Alpha's annual competition was back, and we sent Sara Beth to see who won.
But the competition is heating up here at McAllister as Zeta begins its Big Man on Campus competition, and it's all for a great cause.
Yeah, so BMOC is a male pageant show. It stands for Big Man on Campus, and it's a fundraiser that Zetas do all across the country to raise money for breast cancer research and awareness. Very near and dear to me, as I know many people myself who have been affected by it. And it's something that can connect so many people, so it's really such a good thing to raise money for.
Contestants from organizations across campus, including SGA, FUOC, and FUSAP, have been paired with Zeta coaches to put together hilarious performances featuring a talent show, bra walk, and Q&A sessions. Mr. Jim, Miss Nancy, and former BMOC contestant Joe Womack score the guys based on skill and entertainment value. A large crowd turns out each year, with students from all corners of campus coming to support the event.
I'm excited because their skits are really entertaining, and it's for breast cancer awareness and raising money for breast cancer, and that's really cool.
While the competition is fierce, VP of Philanthropy Molly McDonald says that participants know the real purpose behind BMOC.
I really just like to see the guys coming together to work for a cause that's oftentimes very close to them as they have been affected to it, and then raising a bunch of money to support something to help people all around them.
Beta's Jackson Zay took home the crown after wowing the judges with his emotional rendition of Rivers and Roads. Congrats to all the guys. They had great performances for an even greater cause. I'm Sara Beth Harbin.
All the proceeds from ticket sales of the event are donated to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. This year, Zeta Tau Alpha raised over $20,000. Speaking of big men on campus, Furman's biggest men participated in March Madness last week. Will take us to Philly.
Thank you, Jada. Welcome to our sports segment. First on the list, we have March Madness, which kicked off last week, and our very own Paladins made an appearance in the Big Dance against number 2 seed UConn. The 15 seed Dins can hold their head high because they put up a big fight against the Huskies. The Dins trailed all game, however, they were just 4 points behind the Huskies at halftime. Paladins' Alex Wilkins and Tom House were holding it down, both finishing with 21 points. However, the big player of the game was UConn's Terrace Reed Jr., who put up 31 points and 27 rebounds. UConn would take Furman out of the tournament, winning 82-71. With Furman making their 8th appearance in the NCAA tournament, you can guess that a lot of students wanted to grab tickets and pack a bag to Philadelphia. I took a deep dive into the ticket prices, travel, and why students felt they were left out of a massive program accomplishment.
My first thought was disappointment. I was excited we were in the tournament, but I've been to every single Furman game at home and many away games up until this point, and I wanted to be this one too because it's ideal, you know, it's like the culmination of all my efforts. And I was like, wow, I can't make that work.
That's Tate Denham, co-founder of the Furman Fanatics Club, which tries to expand the excitement of the student section at athletic events. While he was very excited that the Dins made the tournament, he unfortunately could not make the big game because the price of tickets and travel were just too high. Furman knows it is important for their students to be present at these games. It is a big part of the team and how they play. We saw our biggest turnout at the SoCon Championship, in which we were the underdogs.
To look up there on Monday night and see over 700 students in Asheville, they might have put you up the deck, but the whole place felt you, and we got that done, and a big part was because of you, and everybody was there, and hopefully we had a bunch of people in Orlando a couple years ago, and we're just going up to Philly, right?
Furman thrives on their students, and it was a big disappointment to not have those special fans in Philly. In my interview with Tate, he said ticket prices weren't his only concern, and even if students had lower prices, we still wouldn't see many traveling.
Honestly, no. I mean, I know a lot of my friends, the issue was not ticket prices, it was getting up there, and it was like flights were really expensive on any airline.
Flights are reaching almost $500 round trip from GSP to Philly, and ticket prices for the game were anywhere from $125 to $160. If you were lucky enough to get one through the raffle. And then you have the cost of hotels, which during big events like the NCAA tournament, for a 2-star hotel could cost anywhere from $500 a night to over $1,000. Tate believed the only way for students to go to the game is if Furman contributed more to their accommodations. We didn't even add in the cost of food, but just with tickets, flights, and hotel, a student would have had to pay anywhere from $1,000 to even $3,000 just to go to cheer on the Paladins. While some lucky few were in Philly to watch the game, the atmosphere was just as electric in downtown Greenville, notably Yeehaw Brewery. The Furman community packed the venue, which caused security to have to turn people down due to max capacity. The atmosphere also attracted opposing UConn fans, which led to some trash talk. Even with the Dens' loss, for the people Yeehaw, it was a night to remember. This basketball season has had many stories with injuries and March Madness, but the biggest feel-good story is that of Cole and Cooper Bowser and how their relationship has helped improve the team and each other. Trip Case has the story.
Coach Bob Ritchie said they were a special family, and that is no overstatement. The Bowser brothers are taking the SoCon by storm, and I had the honor to talk to both of them about what it's been like to play on the same team for the first time in years.
As the Bowsers are taking over here in Asheville.
Cooper Bowser has been a staple of the Furman basketball team since his freshman year. And with his brother Cole joining him in the lineup, this season has been one to remember, not just because of the team's success, but also because they got to share together.
Oh, it's been a great experience. We haven't played together since probably the Boys and Girls Club in Woodbridge, so it's been different, you know, coming to the locker room, seeing your brother, and then going out there and playing with him. But it's been great. He's a great player, and I'm glad I get the chance to play with him on the court.
That chance to play together on the court led to a memorable run in the SoCon playoffs, as Furman won the tournament, beating ETSU and earning an auto bid to March Madness behind Cooper's 21 points in the championship game, as well as offensive and defensive efforts by Cole.
Yeah, I mean, being able to go out there with my teammates, you know, I call them my brothers, and also, you know, my biological brothers. Amazing. I know it's just a great experience to go out there and see everybody stepped up, everybody played to the standard that we needed them to play to.
Cooper and Cole don't just have the support of each other, but also of their family. The Bowser family travels to as many games as possible to support their sons, which in turn motivates them to play harder.
It definitely does. I mean, they've been there at pretty much all of our games coming up, so it's always good because you can distinguish their voice out of everyone else. So it's always cool to hear them support. And yeah, then you watch like the ESPN broadcast, and after we won, my sister was crying, and it's always cool to watch what my dad's doing in the stands after the game. So it's really awesome to have them come to games.
Yeah, definitely, especially for me and my dad coming to most of the games. It's been cool because he's been there with me since I was a kid. It was crazy. We've been everywhere, up and down the road, and he's just always been my road dog. So finally having him to come to these games in college and now ultimately March Madness is insane, the dream come true. So
The relationship hasn't just improved their own chemistry, but the chemistry of the team as a whole. Number 30 Thomas Tillman and manager Ben Royce gave their insights on how the team's relationship has been this season.
The country have a hard time connecting upperclassmen and some of the younger guys, but we never had a problem with that, in large part due to Cole and Coop. I mean, they really brought the class together. Freshmen, upperclassmen were super close this year, closer than probably most teams in the country. So I definitely think they had a big role with that.
I think it's created like a cool bridge between like the younger guys and the older guys, because like Cooper's a junior, but then we got a class of these like 5 freshmen and Cole's one of them. So like to see them be close with Cole and then Cole already be close with some of the older guys because of his connection with Cooper just really brings the whole team together.
With Cooper being a junior and Cole being a freshman, the duo have one more year together with the Paladins, and the players and the fans are looking forward to hopefully have another successful season.
I'm looking forward to just continue to grow as a person and as a basketball player.
I'll probably say I'm a vacation.
Well, Cole, you definitely deserve that vacation. And every Paladin fan looks forward to seeing how you and Cooper grow for next season. With Cole being here for hopefully 3 more seasons and Cooper having 1 more season, Dens fans should be excited about how much better the brothers will be next year. The Furman softball team traveled to Cullowhee, North Carolina this past weekend to take on Coastal Carolina. The Dens faced the Chanticleers on Saturday in a doubleheader, but lost both games, losing the first game 11-7 and the second game 7-4. They faced them again on Sunday, but failed to avenge their losses, losing in a 12-2 Mercy Rule loss. On Tuesday, both the men's and women's tennis team had matches.
The men's team took an impressive 6-1 victory over the Citadel here in Greenville. The women's team traveled to Macon, Georgia, where they swept Mercer, keeping their undefeated streak in SoCon play.
Wow, those ticket prices were crazy, Will.
And especially, I'm someone who wanted to go to the game, but if we ended up going second game, beating UConn, I ain't paying that much for a ticket.
Right, but Furman did a really good job holding their own against a very strong team. Well, that's all we have for you today. I'm Jada Hunt.
And I'm Will Bailey.
We leave you now with some scenes from our beautiful campus.